So, welcome back to the Canada Specialist Program series. My pleasure to have Brenna with us today from CMH Heli. Now, I have seen this presentation and it's absolutely amazing. Although maybe I shouldn't say that, setting you up, Brenna, but it is fabulous. Of course, it involves helicopters and mountains, so you can't really go wrong there. So, Brenna, thank you so much for joining us on this series. I'm going to hand straight over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charlie. I think my presentation is incredible. We have lots of amazing photos to share. But my name is Brenna. I work on our summer business development team, and today I'll be sharing a little bit about CMH Summer Adventures. So we also have our winter product, and you might recognize the CMH name or our logo from our heli skiing product. It's what we're really well known for, but I will take us back into the summer months and focus on that product today. But I'm happy to answer any questions about our winter product or provide resources to that product as well. And I always like to start with a really incredible photo. This is one of my favorite shots from our Cariboos destination, and we try to capture this magic of our products and photos. And honestly, it's a little bit challenging to do because our experience a lot is that feeling that you get of being out in the mountains. You know, you have this really vast natural landscape that you fly in a bird's eye view in the helicopter, and then you get dropped off kind of in the middle of nowhere here. And that feeling where you're feeling so small next to this totally massive glacier that is overtaking the landscape, or maybe it's that feeling of the intimacy between you and a couple of other guests on the tour that are out with one of our guides, and you have this small group of people that you're becoming friends with, and you don't see anybody else around you. And all of those things are really hard to capture, but are things that make me really excited about our product and really add to the guest experience up while they're enjoying our product. I'll start by kind of locating us. So we're in the Western Mountains of Canada, and we operate out of the BC province. And you can see kind of we operate out of the Cariboos area, which we've called it, which is nearby Jasper, and then the Bobbie Burns and the Bugaboos that are near Lake Louise and Banff. And we start our round trip transportation from Calgary, and that's the closest international airport to our lodges. So that's where we recommend clients transporting in through. And if you're starting to think about where to package kind of a grander tour of the Rocky Mountains, we see a lot of clients packaging through Banff and Lake Louise and even Jasper, as those are quite popular mountain towns to tour, and they're totally beautiful as Ryan was showing us in the winter, but in the summer months they're also totally stunning. And typically then people are packaging kind of a longer tour with CMH. And I'll share at a high level, we do multi-day, all-inclusive guided mountain adventures. So that's a lot to unpack, and I'll unpack that over the next couple of slides. But it's important to note that we are an all-inclusive experience. So accommodation is included for the days that your guests are with us, transportation on coach buses, as well as the heli transport into the lodge and then out into the field every day. We include all of the meals that are prepared by our on-site chefs every day, and our guides are all ACMG certified and take guests out on kind of the activities for the day. And then if there's any equipment that guests need to borrow from us, we can also provide that for them. And like I was saying, all of our adventures are a multi-day. So we start at a 3-night, 4-day tour and have options up from there. And our standard trip cost for that 3-night, 4-day is just over $5,000 Canadian for our 2025 season. So the average nightly is around 1,700 Canadian. And we like to look at that price and compare it to, you know, a higher end experience in the Whistler, Vancouver, Banff area, when you're adding in accommodation, meals, activities. When you're including everything, it is in line with those other experiences in the mountains that you can receive as well. But it's a one-stop shop with CMH. And I'll show you here where we're located. So this lodge actually is our Bugaboos Lodge, and our guests will arrive at our helipads on the coach bus, and then we fly them out via helicopter into these spaces. And you can see in this image how remote this is starting to look. You have this beautiful lodge in front of this incredible spire view. And you can imagine how hard it is to get here. There's no paved roads leading up into this area. So that's why we use the helicopter to transport people into kind of this quiet, remote area. And you can also see our accommodations. They're not just alpine huts, really comfortable lodge filled with amenities like a sauna, and we have hot tubs and steam rooms and a spa with massage therapists and laundry and rock climbing walls. And on the grounds, we have swimming ponds that are really lovely. And then these beautiful, comfortable, well-acquainted rooms for the guests to stay in. And it's a really special lodge experience. And these are our home base for guests that join us. And then every day we take them out into the mountains by helicopter every day. I also like to touch on the lodge experience itself, as it's something that's really truly unique and special at CMH. Our guests come away from a trip with lifelong friends and are becoming close with our guiding team and our lodge staff. And that comes from this high standard of hospitality that we create this intimate and warm experience where guests are feeling like they're entering their home with a bunch of friends. And one way we accomplish that is through our family style dining, and guests are dining with our staff and guides. And that's rare to find and a really signature CMH experience for us. So I'll flip now into what our activities are, and I'll start with heli hiking is what we call it, but it's helicopter assisted hiking. So each day we fly our guests from the lodge, about 5 to 10 minute flight into the mountains. We drop them off in their small group and they go and explore for the day. Then maybe at midday, our guests are taken to another location via the helicopter and they walk and hike, and then they're coming back to the lodge at the end of the day. And this can look at a lot of different ways for different guests. You know, some of our guests want to walk through a meadow and then learn from our guides about the flora and fauna, and then they end up at this freezing glacier-fed swimming hole. Or, you know, they're walking across this ridge line at the Bugaboos, or they want to trail run one of these, or they're really adventurous and they want to do a full day of really challenging hiking to a peak, and our guides are there to take our guests the safest way. And our guides are really a crucial component of our experience as well, to provide that designed experience for everybody. So they're getting to know our guests and what skill levels they're at and what their goals in the mountains are, to make sure each individual is getting exactly what they want. And that's part of the reason why we use the helicopter, so that people of any accessibility type can come and join us on a tour. And we also use the helicopter because we're pretty remote. Like this Cariboos Lodge that we have, it would be a week-long or longer bushwhacking expedition through stinging nettle and thick forest and swamp. So we want to make it accessible to people because this scenery is incredible. This photo, I have a million favorite photos, but this one is really gorgeous. But you don't have to be an experienced hiker or an experienced mountaineer to come out and join us. And one of the things that's really special is that you don't see anybody else around. I joke with this photo that, you know, we're not editing people out, we're not removing people. You won't see anybody else there. This is really truly what you're seeing. You're not going to experience any crowds. It's only you in this small, intimate group. And our other activity is a Via Ferrata. So this is included in the trip cost. It's totally optional, but it is for guests that want that heightened adventure. It's a unique way that we make mountainous terrain more accessible. And this image is of our Mount Nimbus Via Ferrata, and this is being named one of Destination Canada's signature experiences. And you can see from the image why it is, because it is really, truly epic. And this is a good image to look at because it looks like maybe these people are rock climbing, but you don't actually need any experience in rock climbing or Via Ferrata. It's people climbing up these iron rungs that are almost like a ladder, and they're just there following our guide. So it looks really incredible, but it is a really safe experience that people want that adventurous side. And this is a good photo to show you where kind of the safety cables are coming in, and they're always clipped in at every moment. Um, and to mention as well, we have Via Ferratas at all of our destinations, and they're exclusively accessed through CMH. So a truly unique CMH experience. And they become a bucket list item for a lot of people as well, because of how incredibly cool they are. This is the Zilmer Canyon. You go up kind of a slot canyon that's being carved out by water and glacier, and the scenery is just incredible. And I'll flip over a little bit to paint a bit of a picture for you of who our current clientele is, and then start thinking about who might be a good fit from your client base to come on a tour. Generally, we see a lot of different ages and generations coming. Sometimes we have, multi-generational families with kids and parents and grandparents, and because we are offering something for all of those different types of people. So that's something we can accommodate. And then because of the price point, we do definitely kind of focus on the affluent traveler that's looking for that higher end experience, and that outdoor adventure. We also can do a more unique experience if you have kind of business incentive trips that you have in mind, or like photography or painting tours. These things we can put together ad hoc, and you just experience this beautiful landscape with a different type of person. And then we also, to touch on our guest values, really the goal of each client would be that they want a comfortable, easy, all-inclusive getaway in nature, and they want that connection to nature and to escape the crowds. And maybe they want to have an adventure, and that means something different to everybody. That gentle explorer that wants to hang out in a meadow, or that high adventurer that wants to complete the Via Ferrata as fast as possible. But they just want this safe, guided mountain experience. And we have a growth strategy that we're working through right now and growing into international markets. And Australia is a target market for us, and those active travelers that want to come on an adventure and have a bucket list experience. And that's where our travel trade partnerships really come in, are a big opportunity for us to create more visibility of our product. So please let me know how we can support and set you up for success to sell CMH in your market. There's a couple listed on the slide of things that we have done in the past for our partners as well. And thank you very much for your time. I'm closing out here, and please reach out to myself if you're curious about more information. I'd be happy to share with you and chat about more opportunities for you to start selling CMH. And thank you so much, Charlie, for having us today.
Oh, thank you. It's such a fantastic, unique, amazing experience. I think everybody's keen to come. And actually, Lois said she's been with you, so
Oh,
that's awesome.
awesome. So you can ask her all the questions.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get her on the panel. But I think what really I love about it is, like you say, people's sense of adventure is different for everyone. So you can go and just have a really mellow experience and enjoy the outdoors, or you can, go do some pretty tough stuff. So thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you.